Hello, you're watching HW News. This is me Anusha. Let's have a quick look at the headlines today. In more trouble for former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, the Supreme Court today refused him anticipatory bail in the INX media case lodged by the Enforcement Directorate. The top court had further added that P. Chidambaram would not be shown any material collected by the Enforcement Directorate at this stage, and neither does the agency need to produce the transcript of the senior Congress leaders questioning in the court. The Supreme Court rejecting Chidambaram's bail plea, the ED is now free to arrest him in the INX media case. Now, the US today said that it stands with India for using new anti-terror law to designate Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar, Lashkar-e-Taiba founder Hafiz Saeed and two others as terrorists, which also includes Dawood Ibrahim as well. Now, US government's Bureau of South and Central Asian Affairs tweeted saying that we stand by India for utilizing new legal authorities to designate notorious terrorists. According to the Home Ministry official, they are the first to be declared terrorist under the new anti-law. The amendments made in the act allows the government to declare even an individual as a terrorist. Now, India and Russia are targeting $30 billion of annual trade by 2025, India's Foreign Secretary said, as a string of energy deals deepened economic ties between the two nations. Seeking to boost bilateral trade from its current $11 billion, the two countries announced deals in sectors including energy, defense and shipping after a meeting between Prime Minister Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin. India's Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale had also briefed the media about the upcoming developments between the two countries.
As you know, besides the very strong relationship that we have with Japan over the years, the two prime ministers are also personal friends and have known each other for a long time. So it was a very, very cordial, very warm discussion. A lot of the discussion was on the bilateral relationship, with particular emphasis on the forthcoming visit of the Japanese Prime Minister to India for the annual summit. That will take place sometime in the month of December. The dates will be negotiated and announced in due course. Before that, both leaders have agreed that the 2+2, the first 2+2 ministerial meeting, that is the foreign and defense ministers of the two countries, will have a meeting, preferably before this annual summit. And in that context, Prime Minister Abe also mentioned the ongoing visit or the just concluded visit of Raksha Mantri to Japan. There was also discussion on the Indo-Pacific. This is an issue on which India and Japan share similar views. Prime Minister Abe spoke of the free and open Indo-Pacific and of the importance of bilateral cooperation in that regard, both on the economic side and in terms of people-to-people relations in order to build an Indo-Pacific region.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi met his Malaysian counterpart Mahathir Mohamad today and took up the issue of extradition of the controversial Islamic preacher Zakir Naik, who is a fugitive in India and has taken shelter in Malaysia. Modi took up the matter with him during their bilateral meeting there on the sidelines of the Eastern Economic Forum. The current Malaysian government has so far not decided on sending Zakir Naik back to India, but has barred him from delivering any kind of public speeches. His activities are under constant monitoring of the Malaysian authorities. Now, moving on, Karnataka Congress leader D.K. Shivkumar, who has been sent to Enforcement Directorate custody for 10 days in connection with a money laundering case, has said that political vendetta has become stronger than law in India. In a video posted on Twitter, he said, sitting on a chair leaning back, saying that political vendetta has become stronger than law in this country.
Political vendetta has become more stronger than the law in this country.
The Enforcement Directorate had filed a money laundering case last year naming D.K. Shivkumar and others after the Income Tax Department raided 60 properties against them and claimed to have found more than 300 crores in undisclosed income. The charge sheet was also filed alleging tax evasion and hawala transaction worth crores. Now, Britain's first turban Sikh MP, Manjeet Singh, demanded that British Prime Minister Boris Johnson apologize for racist remarks against Muslim women in the past. In a fiery intervention during the Prime Minister's questions in the House of Commons, Mr. Singh received applause from fellow opposition Labour Party MPs as he made a passionate speech about enduring such attacks related to his turban while growing up in Britain. On the other hand, Boris Johnson responded by claiming that Mr. Singh had failed to read his newspaper articles within its complete context, which also said that in fact a strong liberal defense of everybody's right to wear whatever they want.
Sing to see.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, if I decide to wear a turban, or you decide to wear a cross, or he decides to wear a kippah or a skull cap, or she decides to wear a hijab or a burqa, does that mean that it is open season for right honourable members of this House to make derogatory and divisive remarks about our appearance? For those of us who from a young age have had to endure and face up to being called names such as Towelhead or Taliban, or coming from Bongo land, we can appreciate full well the hurt and pain felt by already vulnerable Muslim women when they are described as looking like bank robbers and letterboxes. So rather than hide behind sham and whitewash investigations, when will the Prime Minister finally apologise for his derogatory and racist remarks? Racist remarks, Mr. Speaker, which have led to a spike in hate crime. And given the increasing prevalence of such incidents within his party, when will the Prime Minister finally order an inquiry into Islamophobia within the Conservative Party, something which he and his Chancellor promised on national television?
Let's hear the answer. The Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker,
Order. The response from the Prime Minister will be heard. The Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, can I just say to the honourable gentleman that if he took the trouble to read the article in question, he would see that it was a strong liberal defence, as he began his question by saying, of everybody's right to wear whatever they want in this country. And I speak as somebody who is not only proud to have Muslim ancestors, but to be related to Sikhs such as himself. And I'm also proud, Mr. Speaker, to say that under this government we have the most diverse cabinet in the history of this country. And we truly reflect modern Britain. We truly reflect modern Britain. And, Mr. Speaker, what we have yet to hear from anywhere in the Labour Party is any hint of apology for the virus of anti-Semitism that is now rampant in their ranks. And I would like to hear that from the honourable member opposite.
Now, Mehbooba Mufti's daughter will be allowed to meet her in Kashmir, the Supreme Court said today, responding to her petition today. In her petition, Sana had said that she was worried about her mother's health since she had not met her in a month. Mehbooba Mufti, a former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister, was arrested along with hundreds of other politicians on August 4th as a measure to prevent any trouble or protest over the government's decision to end the special status to the state under the Article 370 and split it into two union territories. Now, the government said that if she approached the district magistrate, she would be allowed to visit Mehbooba Mufti, who had been detained near Srinagar. And for more news updates, log on to www.hwnews.in.
Namaskar. HW News Network today is a year and a half old. Thanks to your support, thanks to your love, we've grown. We require your support a little more. What we request you to do is to download our free app. Our app is in English, Hindi and Marathi. We promise to update you with the latest news, views, analysis, interview. We also have a live TV going in that. If you download our app, we will get advertisers. And if we get advertisers, we'll get revenue. We get revenue, we can serve you better. So once again, please do support us. Please download our app. Namaskar.